Hello friends, this is Raj Sastry from Raj Option Trading. Today is October 2nd, 2022. Hope you're all doing well. In today's segment, we'll take a look at StockRover platform and see if it's worth your money. So with that, let's jump into StockRover and look at its features. From a features perspective, as you log into StockRover, you can go into dashboard. Look in the dashboard, they will give you a nice overview of the day here. Tells you how is Dow Jones Industrial Average doing. This is on Friday. Look, it's down 500 points. S&P 500 down 54 points, and Nasdaq also down big time, 161, as you can see here. So as you look through here, it will also tell you the most active stocks here. Look, on Friday here, we got Carnival Cruise Line, one of the most active stock here, and it's got 1 day return of negative 23%, and then you got Apple, AMD, and so on and so forth. And you could also look at the gainers and see what stock went higher. We got Charles River, one of my favorite stock, WY, Equifax, so on and so forth. Looks like they had a great day. And then you can look at the losers and see which stock did lose the most. Look, we got cruise liners at the top here. Look what's going on here. We got Carnival, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean all down big time, and Nike with its negative report here also came big time down, as you can see here. And one more good thing about this platform, let's go back to most active here. You could look at the sector performance. Look, it tells you on Friday from a sector performance perspective, technology and utilities did badly, as you can see here. And then we got here consumer cyclical also did not do well. And you could also look at few more things here. Look, there is no 52-week high, obviously understood, right? We got Fed increasing rates like there is no tomorrow. And look, we got a lot of 52-week lows here. Look, right from Advanced Auto Parts, Abbott Labs, so on and so forth, all 52-week low. If you want to see here in other indices, maybe Nasdaq 100, you want to see 52-week low, there you go. Look at my favorite semiconductor stocks, all done big time. Applied Material, ANSS, Avago, so on and so forth, or Broadcom, as you can see here, big time. Even Cisco, one of the big networking company, also down at 52-week low. All right, now you could also look at 5-day. Just by clicking 5-day, you get to see the 5-day performance here. Look, on a 5-day basis here, you got Apple down big time. Look, $12 down here, 8.1%. And look, sector performance looks like utilities are not doing well, mainly because Fed is increasing the rates. You get a better rate through treasuries versus buying these dividend yielding utilities. And you could also look at 52-week low and high as you go in and see how is their 5-day performance. And you could look at 10-day, 1 month, 2 months, so on and so forth. Let's go to year to date. Look, year to date, Dow Jones Industrial Average down 20%. Whoops, that's a big time down. S&P 500 down nicely here, 23%. Nasdaq down year to date 32%. It's a huge big downturn here, mainly because of the Fed. Fed is not our friend anymore. And look, from a year to date perspective, look, we got AMD down 56%, Apple down 21%, Tesla down 24%, so on and so forth here. And look, we got Carnival Cruise Lines right here down 65%, as you see here. From a sector perspective, only energy is faring okay here. Otherwise, everything else is down big time. All right, so you don't need to stop there. You can go into 1 year and see a 1 year performance and 2 year performance. And if you're a long-term buy and hold investor, you can look at 5 year performance. Look, on a 5 year basis, none other than technology. Technology is the absolute leader here. doing great, 112% as you can see here. So this gives you a perspective of the long term here. Even though everybody is worried about short term, a lot of the folks are making bets for the long term by looking at the long term performance. That's when you hold your nose and buy technology, buy consumer cyclical, which are the top performers. Look, on a 5-year basis, energy has done just 31%, but other names like technology and even healthcare for that matter did pretty much better compared to energy. This gives you a perspective. That's one of the reason I love this platform, which is StockRover. I have the Premium Plus membership here, which is worth it. I think it's good to check it out. And from a plan perspective here, if I go into their plan page here, you can see their plan here. They got an essential plan here, which is not too much here, about $7 here or $8. They got a premium plan here, which is $17 per month, and they got a premium plus plan here. And I'm in this 1-year price range here, $279, which is really a good price here because it's a rich platform, mainly for buy and hold type investors and swing traders. As you can see here, they got multiple things going on. Entry level plan, they got a lot of data. This company really has a lot of data, and they got a lot of fundamentals. They have also added technicals into their data. So that's why it's a good platform here. You could also do multi-monitor support as you go into your premium plan and your premium plus plan. I love premium plus mainly because you could create your own metric, and you can create your own data points, and you can screen it. And it's one of the great platform for buy and hold investors. Hands down, my favorite platform. And one of the beauty about this platform, they will let you export the data as you go into your premium and premium plus plans. So that's great here. They have all the important metric. How is the growth? How is the profitability and financials and so on and so forth. You name a metric, and StockRover has that metric for you. All right, let's go back to the platform here and do some more things here. Look, this is the dashboard page here. Then you could look at market page. Look in the market page here. It tells you a good overview of how is Dow Jones Industrial Average doing. Right now we got a 1-day chart. You could even go into say 6-month chart or 1-year chart. It tells you Dow Jones Industrial Average, how is it doing on a 1-year basis here. And you could click on NASDAQ here, and look, you got a nice NASDAQ chart here. You can look at S&P 500, you get the chart also here. And it will tell you the indices and how is their performance here. You could go into 1 day and see how is the performance, or you can go into year to date and look year to date. VIX, which is volatility, is doing great as you can see here. And otherwise look, NASDAQ is doing poorly, negative 32% in NASDAQ as you can see here. Even crude oil, as you see here, has done okay, but 6% positive as you can see here, but off late it's giving back slightly. And you could do the same thing in the sectors here. You could look at how the sectors are doing. Look, utilities and technology sectors are not doing great on last Friday, and you can go into say 1 year and year to date and see how the sectors are doing. Look, year to date energy is doing great. Look, it's really doing nicely here. Whereas communication services, think about Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Verizon, AT&T, they did not do very well at all. So this is how you could get your data here, and you could look at the news items here. You could select what news feed you want. Do you want Benzinga, Forbes? You can select them. It will give a nice data around from those data sources. That's about the market. And then you could go into other areas. There is a table, chart, so on and so forth here. I will take you into few things that I use the most here. And for the folks who love to track their portfolio, look, they got a portfolio tool which is super powerful here. You could connect your portfolio from your broker into this this StockRover platform. They will help you look at your portfolio and dissect it and make sure your portfolio is nicely balanced and give you some suggestions there, which is a great tool. A lot of people use these portfolio tools. So with that, let's jump in here and look at this platform. One of the things I love about this platform is look, any stock that you want to see, they have a nice insight here. We can go into insights here, and as you go into insights, look, we got right now we got Norwegian Cruise Lines, nice insights page. Look, what it's telling me is really Norwegian price line. Stock price is around $11, as you can see here, down 18% on Friday. And you can go into a year-to-date chart or a one-year chart, get a bird's eye view what's going on here. Look, Norwegian Cruise Line, you can say decisively stock is down big time. Look, stock is down. And you could also do little more research here, but this is one nice page I love about this. They pack a lot of information, and for the folks who want a separate page, you could for example, some of you might have multiple screens. You could just go here and you could say, hey, expand into a different screen here. Look, we got the whole insights page in a different browser here. You could take it into a different screen and do your analysis. Look, we can go back to 1 year. It's already 1 year. Stock is decisively down, as you can see here. Nice downturn. And this tells you what the sector, what the industry, market cap. Most importantly, look, it also gives you the short float here. For the folks who do short squeeze, this is a very good information. And it also tells you sales and shares outstanding, so on and so forth. I love their scores here. They got a value score, growth score, and so on and so forth. Look, many platforms will just give you the score and that's pretty much, but StockRover goes one level ahead and tells you how is it trending. Look here, as I click on it, it tells you somewhere here 4 years ago the valuation was 83, nice and high score 4 years ago. Right now, look, valuation is 20. The higher the score, the better. Look, valuation perspective, this is not great, not a good valuation right now. It's a heavily valued, valuation is not great at all right now. We want the values, all the scores to be higher. From a growth perspective, look, growth is deteriorating here. It was good 97 rating a while ago. Right now we're into 42, as you can see here. Quality score also same thing here, deterioration here. Piotrowski F score, which is one of the great score. I love when it's above 6 or 7 or 8, 9 being the highest, but it's also not doing great. Altman Z score tells you the financial strength. Look, this is not doing great at all. It's a negative, which tells you company is not solvent. I love this bird's eye view here. Just by looking at this, I get a great idea on what the stock might be. And there is also a sentiment score here. It tells you how is the sentiment. Look, it's 39. It's below 50. It tells you poor sentiment. And it's got estimates here. It tells you what the estimate perspective, what it is. Analysts are saying buy right now, as you can see here. And average price target is somewhere right here at around it's more than 13, around $20, as you can see here. And as you see here, they got some more things going on here. The growth estimate is negative, as you can see here. Sales growth looks like positive for next year. And they will also tell you the score against the industry here. Look, Norwegian Cruise Lines against the industry, it's 39, which tells you it's doing badly compared to the industry. Industry score being 51, they're at 39. S&P is at 75, not great here. And it tells you all the returns here, 1 day all the way to 5 year. Look, this company is not doing great. Fundamentally, I would not recommend. So it tells you nice details about any company that you want to see. And it does not stop there. You can go details about valuation. Look, we got nice valuation detail here. and we got growth, profitability, nice detail here. It goes into net margin and so on and so forth. And then there is a rating versus peers and dividend for the folks who want to look at the dividend. And it also has the competitors, as you can see here. And many of the companies, they don't get this accurately. Looks like Norwegian, this one also gives you some competitor, but they may not be direct competitors, as you can see here. And it has got some more information, as you can see here. So that's about, summary here. You don't need to stop there. You can go into visuals. You'll get nice visuals here. Look, right now we got risk and returns, and you can look at the growth, multiple time frames, profitability, and dividends. And you can go into multiple areas. You can start right here into EPS. Look at the earnings per share, how it's doing here. How is the sales? Look, we got sales in millions of dollars. And you can go into other details, EPS, cash flow, very good detail here, quarter by quarter breakdown, and you can see how is the trajectory here. And it also has a nice graph, as you can see here. You could also look into monthly returns. I make use of this all the time here. It tells you how is the monthly average return. By looking at this, you can see how the company might do. As an example, right now we are in sub-October here. It tells you seasonally in October, Norwegian Cruise Line is typically down, but in November it will go higher, and December also slightly positive. You get an idea. And you can also look at the return on top here, monthly return here. Look, monthly return perspective. We got various months, as you can see here, December all the way June, September, so on and so forth here. Right now we're in October 2022 here. I think we can go back here, September, October. You get the idea. You get the nice monthly return here, and you get seasonality. I love the seasonality here. And you could also look at the table here. If you want to export this table and do some more research, you could do that too. And you got versus peers. You can look at the history and see how is the history. Look, we got the nice history here. You can look at the income statement. Nice chart. I love these type of charts here. It tells you how is the income doing over the period of time. I love this type of information here. And you could go into versus industry and technicals. Look, many of you all love technicals. This also tells you nice technicals here. You could look at various technical indicators and add them to this chart here. All right, so we got a lot of technicals here, Bollinger Bands and so on and so forth here. You could add more things into it also. And look, we got news. You could look at the news items here, and you could look at the analyst. I love this analyst information here. Tells you right now consensus estimated buy, as you can see here, and you can look at how is it over the period of time. Look, currently strong buy is 5, just a month ago it's 4, so looks like there is some positiveness here. And look, hold is it was 6 a month ago, right now hold is 5. That's also good here. So it tells a good idea here. Look, average target price is $20 and current price is 13. This one is as of 9/21. You get some good idea. It also gives you a lot of estimate revisions. It's a wealth of information here. And you could look at the statements for the folks who want to look at the statements here. A nice chart. I love these type of data here. They tell you, look, by looking at this, revenue is dropping down. Nice eye chart here, small chart. Cost of revenue is also dropping down. Gross profit down, expenses down. As you can see here, net income is not doing great here. Slightly we have some net income, but look, off late it's a negative, as you can see here. So you get a good idea what's going on here. And you could go into various things like cash flow and so on and so forth. Let's go back here and look at a few more things here. All right, so we are in table here. Actually, we were in the insight. For the folks who love chart, you can go into chart here. They got a nice charting platform, as you can see here. And it's no way compared to charting platform like TradingView, but it's a it got a lot of information. So you could do same thing here. You can pop it off to a different browser, and you can do some analysis. Instead of Norwegian cruise line here, I might go into say AMD here, so we can look at some contrast. Oh, you know what, because I chose Norwegian cruise lines over there, I can change it here. Let's say AMD. All right, so once we chose AMD, we can go back to here, chart. Look, we got the AMD chart here, nice looking chart. I got Bollinger Band right now, and look, right now I'm in, let's see here, it's looks like it's a 1 year chart right now, and I got quarter over quarter sales. You could add the fundamentals here, right? You can add the technicals. As you go into technicals, you got various technicals here. You could add any of these technicals. Typically, I love to add Bollinger Bands. I might add things like on the balance volume. You could add that just by clicking here. Now we got on the balance volume. You could look at that one too. And look, we got a few more technicals here. You could look at relative strength index, volume by price, and so on and so forth. Let's look at RSI and add RSI here. Look, RSI perspective, AMD RSI is coming down right now. And you can add the fundamentals. Look, we got a lot of fundamental data here. You want to look at the gross margin, you could look at that too here. We can add gross margin to the chart here. Look, we got the gross margin coming up here. Look, gross margin green line going down off late here. You get the idea. It's a rich platform here. You could also add the event here. So you can add let's go here to the events, splits, dividends, so on and so forth. Portfolio activity, you could add those things, earnings per share. It will give those information also to you. And you got various things going on here. You could do the settings here, price, dollar, percentage, and so on and so forth. If it's a percentage here, you'll get to know the percentage. Like, look, it's a 38% down. As of I think it's a 1 year chart here, down 38%. It gives you a good idea. All right, so we can go back here and say a dollar here, and go into a few more information. All right, so we were in chart and insight, and one of the greatest thing I love about this platform is their stock ratings. I could click on the ratings here, and look, we got AMD right now, overall rating 81. And if you have multiple monitors, you can just pop this into a separate browser. And look, we got a nice AMD chart here. I love this concise view it gives. Overall rating 81, and you got growth, valuation, efficiency, financial strength, momentum. Look, nice rating here. Look, momentum is decisively not there. Stock is going down, but otherwise it's doing very well. Nice rating for AMD, 81. And you could look at the growth rating here, and look at the growth. Look, AMD earnings per share is growing nicely. Lisa Su is doing good job. Revenue is going nicely. I like it. And earnings per share, look, it's pretty good. 50, 54, 55. Revenue is nice. It's doing pretty good here. And then you get more information. You can compare it with their competitors, as you can see here, and look at their earnings growth. You can look at the valuation, as you can see here, and see how is the valuation doing. PE ratio, price to book ratio, PE ratio came down. Look, it's becoming cheaper, as you can see here. And you could look at efficiency. This is where you look at your operating margin, net margin. Look, I like this operating margin going higher on a year-over-year basis. Net margin came slightly down off late, but pretty okay so far. And it tells you against the competitors here, and you can get a good idea where are the competitors. Looks like folks like Micron, Applied Material, Texas Instruments are doing better job. ADI is not doing so great. All right, now you could look at financial strength and see how is the financial strength here. Look, their total debt to equity ratio is coming down. That's a good news here. And interest coverage ratio is going higher. That's also pretty okay here. So I think overall company is doing very well. And you could look at the dividends here. Look, AMD is not paying dividend. And then you could look at the momentum, and look, momentum is not there right now. We got a seasonal flow here. Look, typically AMD, October is not a great month for AMD. That's what's going on. AMD typically bounces in November. It's a good insight for the folks who want to look at the wealth of data. This is last 10 years data. It's compiling to really tell you how is AMD doing in any given month. Typically September and October are the bad months for AMD. That's what's going on here. Look, November, it can do well. All right, that's about that. We can go back here. I love their ratings platform here. Next is most important thing in this platform, which is screeners. I love their screener. It's one of the greatest screener. You don't need to worry too much about downloading the data to Excel spreadsheet. It's like Excel spreadsheet. You can do a lot of things. Look, I can click on screener here, and I got various screeners that I've developed over the period of time. Let me take you to a few screeners here and go from there. All right, let's go into screeners here. Let me make this little bigger here, expand. Look, I have a screener here which is called most active. You can create your own screeners. Look, there are a lot of screeners. They give you a lot of these predefined screeners like capital efficiency, dividend growth, and growth at a reasonable price or GARP, and so on and so forth. They give you a lot of these screeners. You can import right into your platform, or you can create your own filter. Look, I created a most active filter here. I want the average volume in 3 months above 500,000, price more than $10, beta is greater than 1. That means these stocks are a little volatile, mainly for options trading, and market cap is more than $2 billion. And that's my simple criteria. I can really run the table here and go from there. Look, it's running this in the table here. I can really collapse these other things here. Now we got our table, and as you look at the table here, this may not look great, but what you can do is you can create your own view here. What I've done is I've created a view here for us to look at. Look, as I go here, I got a view right here at the end here. Let's go, keep going. All right, I got a top stock here. I could click on my top stocks view, and you have about 35 or so columns here. You can choose what columns you want to add. Look, I've added these columns here. If you want to add more columns, look, it gives you nice browsing, browse here. You could knock yourself off. There are about 600 or 700 different things to choose from here. You can be my guest and add all these things, whatever you want, into your view here. That's why you need a lot of views to look at multiple things. Right now I selected a view here. In my view right now, I can cancel this right here. I got ticker, company, price, and so on and so forth. As you can see here, I got 6 months, 1 year, 2 year performance, 5 year, and so on and so forth, as you see here. And in this one here, what I've done is I wanted to look at most liquid stocks. So that's why I can pull this a little bit, look at this whole view here. Look, right now I got most liquid stocks here, and I sorted this by price times dollar volume here. It's the price times volume. Right now, as you can see here, Tesla is the most liquid stock in the stock market. And look, the volume or a dollar amount perspective on Friday, $17 billion worth traded here. And as you scan through here, we got various other things going on here. We got Apple, next highly liquid stock here. I can expand this further here. You can expand further so you can look at the whole thing, and then you got a few more, as you can see here. So that's one of the reasons I tell folks, don't just look at the volume. Just by looking at the volume, you will not understand the liquidity. Look at the amount of money traded. Looks like Tesla is first, then we got Apple the second, Microsoft a distant third, then you got Nvidia, and so on and so forth. And once you get this view here, you could just click on this here, and depending on how you want to do it, if you want to look at the insight right here, you could just bring this up here and expand this panel. Now I get the insight right here. Right now it's okay, looks like we already have insights on the browser here. It's bring up the insights here. Look, you could look at the insights here. You could look at the summary view of Tesla here. Look, we got Tesla right here. You could see what's going on, the details about Tesla. You got 1 year chart. You can look at the valuation, so on and so forth, like we did last time. And we got the data here. I could summarize here, or I can even collapse it right here and look at the browser view. Sometimes I keep it right here. Sometimes because I got multiple monitors, I collapse this right here because I need to have little more space. That's why I typically end up collapsing it here. Look at it in a different browser. And then you got Apple here. You could just click on Apple. You got a nice chart right there. Look, inline chart. I like it. Tells you Apple is last price 142. Nice 1 year chart, as you can see here. Actually, it's not September 26th all the way to September 30. You got a nice chart here. And what you could do is, if you click on Apple here, then you can go into your other charts here. We got insights. You got stock ratings. You could go into stock ratings for Apple. Look, it already brought it up here. We got Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. And look, we got you can start from the profile here. Overall score being 70 here. And look, growth 64, valuation is 18, not that great. Efficiency perspective, gross margin, and so on and so forth, very nice, 96. Financial strength is very good, 91. You got a good idea here. Then you could go into efficiency as an example. Look at the gross margin. Look, operating margin, I think it's did very well in 2020. And look, their net margin also did very well. Company doing very well. And you could also look at insight, which is one of my favorite thing here, and see what's going on in Apple. Look, nice value score, nice growth score, great. Quality score is also great. Piotrowski F score tells you how his books doing. Number 8, 9 being the highest, it's doing great. Altman Z score, financial strength is great. You could knock yourself off. They got a lot of data here. Fundamentally, if you're a fundamental buy and hold investors, you got it covered with this platform here. All right, so if you want to download this data, be my guest, you can go into the actions here, and you could just save the table as CSV file here. It'll go into your Excel spreadsheet. You can do a little more research, just like I do all the time. And you could go into other areas. This is one of my favorite ways. And look, many platforms, they will not let you change your criteria on the fly. But here you could just go here, and you can say here, you could put some more filters. You can say, what, for price, I want to look at price more than, say, $10. Say, you can say you want price more than $10, and you want price less than, say $50. You don't want to look at too many things here, and you could just say click. And now you don't have high price stocks here, just the criteria that we gave. Look, we got our criteria here, price criteria. You can look at the criteria. Look, we got nice criteria here, and you could do the same thing for the volume or sales and so on and so forth here. For example, now you want to look at sales here. Look, some of these have got quarterly sales negative. Look, we got Meta negative quarterly sales here, and we got Nike negative. You are a growth investor. You want to make sure we got higher growth. You could just go here, enter a number. You want growth to be more than 10%. You could just say 10 here, and now you get growth more than 10%, as you can see here. All right, now we got nice more than 10% sales. It's all the growth companies, as you can see here. And this is how you could play around here, and you could add more and more filters. And many times you might want to add multiple filters. One of my favorite ways to do it is really, I'll remove the filter from here. You could go into you can go into the filters. Let's go back here and expand this slightly. All right, so you can go in here. Look, I got a ad hoc filter. Many times I don't want to have set filters. I want to write a formula. Look, many of these platforms won't let you write your own formula to create your own filter. But but this platform here, StockRover, not an issue. Let me go in here and look at my formula in the ad hoc. And go from there. Look, I got ad hoc here. I can go modify screener. So in this ad hoc, what I've done is I got a formula which says, let me click on this here. My formula is simple here. I'm telling you, let's see here, don't show this message again, not sure what that is. So we got gross margin now is more than gross margin 1 year ago, and sales growth now is greater than sales growth like last year, and debt now is less than last year's debt. Basically, I want to write some rule like this. You could do both and as well as or conditions here. Many screeners will let you do some and conditions, but this lets you do and as well as or clause. Look, I got a nice criteria here. I could go in and select this criteria, which is my ad hoc criteria. The reason I say ad hoc is I keep adding to this and testing multiple scenarios. And I could go here and select this filter here. We already have it here, and just say table, and then we'll see this in the table here. All right, now I collapse this here. I don't get this in my way here. Collapse this also. Look, we got a nice table here with our criteria. Look, these are the stocks that follow our criteria, where growth this year is more than growth last year, debt right now is less than debt last year, and so on and so forth. You could look at writing such criteria here. And if you want to look at these stocks as usual, click on it. If you want to look at the chart here, we already have a chart detached here. You could look at the chart. Look, we got a nice chart here, and you could also do settings and change the chart pattern and say I want candlestick, and you could say daily candlestick as an example. Let's see, we can also do go back to candlesticks here and open high right here. Look, we got nice candlestick here, and you could change the settings if you want to and do various things. Right now we got RSI, and we got quarter over quarter sales change, and so on and so forth. All right, so this is about the capabilities around the filtering here. And you could also do your watch list. If I go back and expand this here, you could create various watch lists. Look, I got various watch lists I created. I got they also have a lot of short watch lists they create for you. You can import them. For example, you can look at all the founder run companies. It tells you what companies have got founders still at the top here. Look, you can look at those here. We got all these companies where the founder is at the top. We got Tesla with Mr. Musk, Nvidia with Jetson Wong, Amazon, and so on and so forth. And you can look at various things here. Looks like I have some watch list that I created, like EV and cyber security, and so on and so forth. And you could add more things here. I got more things going on here. I got some emerging trends folder here, and you could have your own things. I got clean energy, SPAC, skin cancer, 3D printing. You could knock your socks off and create your own watch list here. It's a great platform to really create such things here. All right, so we'll look at a few more things here. and go from there. Look, we already looked at a lot of things here, and one of the main things I love about this is really look at, we got metric browser here. You are a metric type person, you want to look at various metric. Look, you can add all these things here. If you have premium plus account, you can look at 5-year EPS growth estimate, and if you have premium account here or a subscription, you could look at the EPS revisions and so on and so forth. I have premium plus, I can look at all this data here. And let me close this one here, and you could also do as you go into the table here. I love the way they are putting everything together. Look, they got huge amount of data here, and they have a lot of these created for you. You don't need to worry. And as you go in here, some of the things I love is scores. So there is a place where you can look at all the scores. Click on the scores here. It will tell you the scores for various stocks here. What we'll do now is we'll go back to our most active stocks here and bring up this scores view here. All right, let's do one thing. Let's collapse this. We can look at this a little more detail. Look, as we look at this here, you can look at the scores. Just by looking at this score, you can get a lot of information. Look, right now we got Apple, as you can see at the top here, and look, we got stock price 138, as you see here, and you can look at the overall rating versus peers. Looks like Microsoft has got great ratings here. From a valuation perspective, Apple is doing better. Google is doing great. Looks like overall ratings are good. Value score is good. And you can look at the growth score here. From a growth perspective, Microsoft is growing better than Apple here, but Google is even growing much better, as you can see here. You can just compare in a nutshell here. Nice information. And you could also look at the grades here. For many of you want to look at some of the grades like Morningstar grades and so on and so forth. Just by clicking at this here, you can look at the grade here, score as well as grade. Look, we got various grades here. Look, we got price, FCF, financial. Look, Morningstar perspective, financial health, Morningstar profitability, Morningstar growth, and so on and so forth. And one of the things I love about this is you could look at some data or detailed data. As an example, as it brings up here, I can go in here and I could go in here and go to historical data. Look, as I go into historical data here, look, I got nice data here, price, market cap, various things. But what you could do is you could go into a different view here. I have created various view for my details. I typically go into my my basic view here. I created a basic view, and in my basic view I have all the data points that I want to see in the detail. So look, if I go into Apple here and go into historical data, look, I got a nice historical data here. It tells you the market cap of late. Look, 2021 market cap is increasing nicely. That's great. Right now it's $2 trillion. Price is increasing. Great. You could look at yearly or quarterly. If you want quarterly, you can click on quarterly right here. It will give you a quarterly view here. All the way on the top here, that's the real latest quarter, as you can see here. Very good eye chart here. You could also look at look, we got EPS surprise that tells you how is the company doing. Is it surprising on the earnings per share? Look, Apple perspective, it's surprising on the positive side in the from an earnings per share perspective. I like it. And look, from a revenue perspective, look, it's doing a positive revenue change. That's also good. Looks like Apple is surprising both on the EPS side as well as revenue side. That's a great indication. So I love to look at this all along. And if you can also look at yearly view, it will kind of tell you on a yearly basis how the company is doing. All right, so you could also swap the rows and columns here. Look, if I swap it here, it will swap the rows and columns. It's a different view here. Now you can see here all the way from 2012 to 2021. How is market cap doing? Looks like Apple more than 3 times market cap compared to 2012. Doing well here. Look, right now market cap is $2.9 trillion. It tells you how is it doing. Look, share dilution also came down, as you can see. That's a great story here. Earnings per share increasing, cash is increasing but slightly came down off late. A very good view of the historical data. All right, so we got a great wealth of data here. Look, if I expand right now, you got more things here. You could go into ideas and libraries here. As you go into ideas, look, there are a lot of things here. They give you some screener of the week here. And look, they got best dividend growers. You can invest in some of these things here. Look, they talk about dividend yields. And you could go into library here. As you go into the library, look, we got a lot of library here. You can import any of these libraries. Some of these libraries look ETF outperformers. It's by the CEO here, Howard Reisman. He's very busy. He's creating some of these screeners for you. You can import all these screeners to your account and look at these screeners. He has got a lot of nice screeners here developed. You could import them, and you could also look at the watch list. The CEO is busy creating the watch list. As you can see here, you could look at best S&P performers and worst S&P performers and so on and so forth. He also created a lot of views, as you can see here. If you want to import some views he has created, you could import them right now. We got a portfolio detail. Looks like they're busy on their portfolio side of the house, GARP essentials and so on and so forth. And for the folks who love Can Slim, there is also Can Slim view created by the CEO here, Howard Reisman, and so on and so forth. And look, we got metric packages here, rich set of metrics. You can import all these metrics packages, or you can write your own metric. For example, I'm a junkie when it comes to data. If I go into a table here, I've created so many of my own things here. As I go here, I'll show you some things I created here. Look, I have created yearly return as an example. Many times I want to look at the stocks, how they have done year over year. If I go into yearly return here, and let me bring up my favorite most active, we got this most active here. Look, in the most active, now I can see here the year-to-date return. This is 2022. 2022, look, we got Apple here, did so badly, down 21% in 1 year. We got dividend yield. Look, last year Apple had done 34%. Last 2 years ago, that's back in 2020, it's 82% great. Year -3, that's 2019, it's done great. And 2018, this is when we got high inflation. Apple did not do well. You get the idea. You can knock your socks off and get last 10 years return here in one page. It's a great view. I always love to look at this view here. Just by looking at this here, you can see Apple has done great with the exception of 2018 right here. And look, we got Ford did not do well 2018 during the high inflation environment. Nvidia, look, it's struggling now. Look, back in 2018 when the inflation was high, Nvidia did not fare well. And even Norwegian Cruise Line -20%. You get the idea. Just by looking at this here, you take a look at any high inflation year, you can basically understand how the stocks might do right now. We are in a high inflation environment. For example, Micron -22%, and Micron is now struggling. Look, Micron is -46%, and we got here American Airline -37%. Right now they are -33%. So you get the idea. Just by looking at some previous years, especially the high inflation years, you can guesstimate how the company will do, in the current high inflation time frame here. And they got this earnings calendar here. If you want to look at the earnings calendar, knock your socks off. The nice view. I love this view here. You could look at this earning calendar and see what's going on from an earnings perspective. and plan for your month or a week ahead and go from there. All right, it's taking a bit to load, but in the meantime probably we can close some of these views. That could be one of the reason. We got a lot of pages open here in the StockRover. We can close some of these pages and come back to our view in a minute. All right, let's wait for a minute here. It's probably it's a weekend. It's compiling some data for the upcoming week. That's why this may be taking a while here. All right, so now we got let's see here, earnings calendar. It's still loading. Let's give it one more minute, but overall when it's coming up here, all right, we are right here in the earnings calendar and it's still preparing it. Looks like we got a monthly earnings calendar coming up here for the whole month of October. Because it's a busy earnings calendar, that's why it's taking a while. We could actually cut down and go into a weekly calendar here. That could be faster. All right, so we got weekly calendar loading right now. So when this is loading, one of the reason I love this software is it's so powerful. For the folks who want to do a lot of the buy and hold investing, this is the software that you have to get. They don't have, great, multiple time frames within a given day. But it's a overall for the buy and hold investors, it's a great one. So with that, probably we'll wrap it up here. Looks like it's taking some more time to load this page here. Probably it's a weekend, they're running some programs here. So with that, in conclusion here, if you're a buy and hold investors, my favorite platform for the buy and hold investors is StockRover. It's a great platform. It's well worth the money here. Within a trade or two, you can recoup the amount here and go from there. So with that, thank you very much. Happy investing and trading. Please subscribe.